Right, as per usual, we'll start with a box. No, that's probably good for the music, right? Alright, no Uprising or Dynasty, unfortunately. Rosetta is what we're cracking, even though I kind of likes... I've ordered some more Uprising in Dynasty, right? Since the next set is the Hunted. But I had Rosetta on the cards for the day. Sorry about the desk. I am also sorting some of my collection, so yeah, bit messy. That's fine. Get rid of some of these goodies, and then we'll crack a box of Rosetta start, and then we'll also end with a box of Rosetta. Right, at usual go, and then of course we'll discuss the Hunted and all the cards that have been revealed so far. There's actually been a decent amount of cards revealed too. God. Way too many piles of... Actually, these are first edition. And these are Welcome to Wraith first edition. Just don't knock them over and we're fine. There we go, that's enough space. Move that out a little bit. And we should be good. Get rid of the keyboard. Beautiful. Okay. See what we can find. Up to like 3 Aether bindings. Hopefully we can get a different L. I actually haven't cracked that much with Rosetta either. I think this is part of my third case as well. Pulls have not been great. But there are a fair decent amount of M's that are currently very, very nice. So hopefully we can find some of them. Alright. That goes there. Let's see what we can pull. Probably just speed through it too. Not too many cards that we are interested in. That can go there for now. Alright. Everything we want is at the back. So we have Fry. Oh, too far. 2 tokens, 2 rares, /M, and then the equipment. Alright. The equipment is the cold foil? Yes. I think we have it down. Oh. No. Wow, the Channel Lightning. Forgot about the art cards. Alright, count your blessings. Channel Lightning Valley is actually a nice pickup. And a piece of Florian, I think that was. Hoping they keep the plus size art going. Alright. The cold foil, Glyph, Blast, and Nada. Incline Cloak, I actually do kind of like, right? Because it's instant proc. Fall, somersaults, open floodgates. I wonder what the macro will be. For the Hunted. God. Sorry, it's early morning. My brain's already... Oh, yeah. Always mush. Why we like to open first, so I have some time to process. But yeah, so we have Sanctuary of Aria, right? As the macro for... Rosetta, it's right in front of me. So I'm curious what the macro will be for the Hunted, right? I'd be curious if it's something as simple as just you pay to mark your opponent, right, to trigger all those effects. As I say, so far, nothing too crazy. We only have 2 M's. Regrowth and Shock is not a great pickup. I mean, it's nice, but there are... Briar already had a lot of tools to recycle cards. Unfortunately. Nada. Equipment was nada. Oh, not an M. Start with that. No, and no. Well, the first half is nothing. Into... Did I miss the equipment? I did. There we go. Hold focus. Arcane Seeds I actually do like. Just because it's the double Rinchant proc with Florian is really nice. Nada, and a bunch of nada. Thank God. My desk is such a mess. Don't want all the packs flying everywhere. Alright, hopefully that'll do. Let's see what we can find. Twinkle Toes, meh. Blast. Oh, Nolan Shock. For lightning, no. Yeah, I like the other one. Their counter spell mechanics. There's just never going to be enough instant play for the counter spell mechanics to really work, right? Because it is just negate target instant card, right? Yeah. It's a bit unfortunate. Because they seem like nice deck techs. I mean, I'm sure they're taken as sideboard into Wizard. But unless there's, you know, a class that's focused more on instant play than Wizard, right? Because Wizard's not super instant play. They're just, yeah, it's a weird thing to have counter spells in Fab. Alright, so far, absolutely nothing in this box. Hopefully the cold for something. Nada. Oh. Okay, well, it's a young one, so not that great. But still, Marvel Florian. At least it is a better Marvel than most of the sigils, right? But, to be honest, I can't get too excited about the young heroes, right? Until Blitz becomes a lot more prominent. It's really not too exciting to me. It's like there should be, you know, rarity to the Marvels. And there is slightly, but, you know, in terms of the pull rates, we're not 100% sure. So, Marvel's a Marvel. Go good with my 3 sigils of the Deadwood. And it germinates. Works out beautifully. Oh, and a Spider Skull. I don't think Spider Skull's seeing that much play, is it? Well, I don't think Brute, right, is seeing that much play. Here is the... I have it somewhere. One of my other screens. The breakdown from Worlds, right? Let's see, how many... The top is still Enigma. Then Aurora. Then Dash.io, that's interesting. Followed by New, Vizari. Then still at 43, and then everyone sort of peters off. Oslo. I feel like Oslo is so undervalued. Maybe because he's just, you know, slightly too squishy. All of the Grave foil. The EA is actually worth quite a lot, isn't it? Nada. And nada. Or nada. Yep. A little bit tricky to grab. And a bit tricky to open. Flash of Brilliance. Yeah, so Comet Storm / Shock, I think, is the better wizard one, right? Summer Fall. And nada. If you have any way to make it, you know, instant cast, like a Chain Lightning or something, you know, even, well, Chain Lightning into Comet and Shock is, to me, a decent push for damage, right? Arcane Seeds, Strong Yield, nada. We're a bit light on the M's in this box. Seems. Nada. Followed by more nada. Well, 2 packs to go. I doubt anything crazy is going to jump out at the end. Guess we'll wait and see. Lightning Form. Machinations of Dominion. Next Runeblade attack, action card you play this turn gets overpower. Play to create an Aura this turn, this gets go again. And that's a fairly decent card, right? Overpower plus go again as long as you create a rune chant token. And a 0 for 3 on blue. Ooh, that's a nicer cold foil. Isn't that crazy? I'm more excited for the Respirator than the Florian cold foil. Because it's young. But we are getting, you know, a whole bunch of more spider thematics for Assassin. So it seems like that's the road we're going down, right? Which I was thinking this was all, you know, to do with bright lights and techie this. But no. Be interesting to see how they meld that together. Alright, last pack, and nada. Not horrible, right? Respirator and a Florian. And Machinations, cool. You know what? That's 6, right? Yeah, so it's on average. 4 and 2 foils, usually. Or only 1 foil. Yeah, the Splash Scroll. Yeah, Platter Skull. Anyway, there you go. My brain should have recouped by now. Let's jump into what's been going on so far. And then also, of course, the Hunted, which is looking like it's going to be probably my favorite set. Love the 3 classes in it. Love the dagger support. And I love the thematics. So we go to... Here we are. Beautiful. Alright. I'm sure a lot of people have covered the metagame and everything like that. We're a little bit more interested in... Well, I guess this kind of warrants something, right? So Blitz being doubled, except for Zen, because he's Zen, right? So yeah, interesting. I wonder if that means there'll be, you know, more events ran, you know, for the separation with Living Legend and with actual Living Legend, the format, right? Curious to see how things roll out. I still, price support is one of the biggest things. If they want Blitz to be, you know, as competitive or as alluring as Classic Constructed, then they have to manually ramp up the price support, right? Because they're trying to grow it slowly, like Classic Constructed. Same with Living Legend, they're trying to grow them to Classic Constructed by just allowing the events to circulate. But again, you won't have that many people going from one to the other or overlapping unless they manually, you know, put the incentive there. That's just my tidbit. Okay, so we have the product roadmap, right? Jarl still coming out in November, still super exciting, right? We wanna see his weapon, but you know, we're getting the same sort of gist over and over again where there's just so much exciting stuff, right? I mean, LSS are raving about his weapon, and of course LSS is now raving about the Chaos stuff that's going to come out in December for the Hunted in January. So yeah, it's just, there's always something new and great around the corner, and that's pretty fantastic, right? Keeps you entertained, excited, but doesn't overwhelm you in the sense of MTG where it's trivial garbage, right? Like, it's crossover with SpongeBob. Anyway, yeah, so December is also the Mastery Pack, right, for specifically the Jarl in Japan. And then the Mastery Pack Guardian was pushed to August, but does feature the adult, well, what everyone presumes to be the adult version of Velda, right? Or an adult version of Velda. So that is cool to see. Might be a little standalone product. I'm gonna be curious, right? The separation between this, an armory deck, and an actual set, right? The level of complexity and support and what they're doing with it, right? So it's 12 packs from a little glimpse at the box someone posted online. Price point will have to be interesting, but I've always wanted just standalone class booster sets, right? Because I just think the game is getting too expensive to continue. I mean, you can still have your story-focused sets, but it just takes so long to cycle around to any given class hero that, you know, Mastery Packs make a lot of sense, right? There's something to go in there. And again, LSS's, I guess, prerogative is not really selling units, it's making sure there's something to tide over players, and also to then have something to rip for people who sell singles, right? So as long as there's enough goodies in here, you'll have the people who are, you know, big on Guardian, and then of course you'll have the usual people who buy to crack it and sell the singles, right? So yeah, kind of hoping for the opposite of the Archive Mastery Pack, right? Where it is predominantly new. Alright, and then we have the big stuff. The Hunted. So yeah, this is looking fantastic. I love the thematics already. I love the color palette. And I love the design of the heroes, which I don't think are actually showcased here because we don't know any of their abilities. But we do have Arachne, and we're going to assume it's going to be Arachne in this form, or this could be his demi-hero slash further form. But we do have, where do I navigate to? The Calling. Prague, yeah, here we go. Right, so if we open up this, we have a kind of horrible image of Arachne. You know what? God, where? It was the Coldfall promo. It came out. I think it came out in an email. I have this open, right? So it's basically the first attack with stealth each turn, gets go again, 4 intellect, and 38 life, I believe it was, right? And it's Arachne, a whole bunch of gibberish that we assume will be translated close to its release, and as like something of the, I don't know, Hive came to mind, right? But Chaos will go in there somewhere. It's pretty radical design of him turning into this just maelstrom of energy, and he is a Chaos assassin, right? So, yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with Chaos, because he's also not listed as a demi-hero here, he's just a playable hero. So, curious. But the main theme is Draconic, still. So we have Draconic by way of Fang and Syndra, who we can at least see images of somewhere. Right? I don't think their heroes are non-grayed out yet. No, but we have Syndra, Fang, and then we have Arachne, right? So they're the 3 heroes featured in the Hunted, but interestingly, right, because the Blitz has 4 deck slots. So most likely Syndra, Fang, Arachne, and then 1 extra. And I feel like this is a better model for them than the first strike decks, right? Have, 3 in set and then 1 easy to play, something like that. Because I don't think the strike decks did that well, right? Being pushed as a new product when there was just, I don't know, a facelift to Blitz, right? But what else do we have? So we have Arachne and his 6 weblings, right? So the thought is that these are going to be transitional demi-heroes for Arachne. I don't see that, to be honest, right? I see them being either tokens, right? It's smudged too much, but kind of looks like the height of a T. But then I'm kind of fishing. But we do see Chaos something, right? Chaos something. But yeah, whether or not they're demi-heroes or... That kind of looks like Evo, right? And obviously it looks like an Evo. Is it Evo hyphenated? That'd be interesting. That one doesn't look so much like an E. Anyway. My thinking is still just that they are a collection of assassins, right? So Arachne isn't so much a hero, it's a title, right? So each of them is Arachne, and then we have Arachne Solitary Confinement, and we have Arachne the Huntsman, right? Which would be an interesting thought. So my money's on them just being tokens, ally tokens, similar to Kasai, right? Which would be interesting to see assassins with tokens. Yeah. But they all have pretty cool designs. And pretty diverse, right? So, of course, we have Bright Lights-esque. Very, very techy. Futuristic. Very... You know, it's kind of interesting to think about Syndra, right? Because Syndra has all the prongs, but obviously they're just spider-themed. There's a lot we could unpack and dive into here, right? But they're all spider-themed, and yeah. They're going to slowly be revealed from, I think it was December 17th, so it's going to be exciting, right? And then, of course, we have the cards that we have seen with the new marked mechanic. So Mark is going to be interesting, because it's not just going to be draft/sealed functionality, right? It's going to still be an ongoing effect, just not as specific as what we see with the draft cards. So, for instance, all of these target a specific hero, so Mark target opposing hero. If that hero is Arachne, you get 1 resource. So playing this as Fang or Syndra against Arachne is the idea, and same with Defang and Extinguish, which begs the question to me with the pre-release events, right? So it's still a 30-card deck. I've skipped past it, haven't I? Pre-release, yeah, 8-card to make a 30-card deck, right? So I'll be curious if sideboarding's a bigger thing, right? Because it's kind of a dead card against the wrong opponent, right? Which would then just make all the draft stuff redundant. You wouldn't really want it. I mean, obviously, Arachnes aren't so bad because they do other stuff. They satisfy stealth, they satisfy contracts, and they are actual attacks. But for instance, Proclaim Vengeance in a mirror match is just redundant, right? So yeah, it's kind of a curious thought, unless you're just using it to beat into Mark. I don't know, we'll see. And then we have the new Fealty token, right? So instant, destroy this. Next card you play this turn is Draconic. At the beginning of your end phase, if you haven't created a Fealty token or played a Draconic card this turn, destroy this, right? So yeah, kind of interesting. So the whole idea with both Cinder and Fang is going to be to upkeep these tokens so that you can convert whatever you're doing into Draconic to then satisfy some of your other deck synergies, which I think is a really interesting way to handle it, right? To basically ease a deck construction, right? Because you have this sort of stopgap that allows you to, again, satisfy those requirements. So you can sort of, as Ninja, for instance, you can convert a lot more of your chain links to Draconic so that you can satisfy some of your other Draconic cards. But then you can also still run, the good Ninja cards. So yeah, I think this is a really interesting way to handle the design of it, right? So, curious. And then Art of the Dragon Blood, which is sort of Ninja's payoff for the Draconic Chain Links, which isn't a Draconic card in itself. So any Ninja can play this, but obviously getting Draconic Chain Links as any Ninja is... I'm going to be curious if there's going to be many ways to get Draconic as other people. When this stacks, if it is Draconic, it gets to go again, and the next 3 Draconic cards you play this turn cost 1 less to play. So for instance, play this, and 3 more Draconic cards into... is it Tome of the Firebrand? No, Tome of Firebrand did get hit, right? It was just Tome of Imperial Flame that is still sloshing around, right? Which will be interesting. Still, obviously, huge fuel for Flamescale Furnace. Flamescale Furnace is also going to be huge for this set, right? Alright, that is everything we can see from the keynotes, right? World Premiere, pre-release, release, so Jan 31, and I think all good. Cool. Close that one. You can go to the Hunted. So 17 Marvels and a slight price increase, which again I'm going to be very curious to see if it matters or sticks or is utilized anywhere. Because for instance, 160, 170. Actually, I have Rosetta up so I can see the current pricing. 160 for Australia, right? And boxes barely get past 130, right? So, yeah. I mean, older stuff is starting to go up. I know, obviously, Dynasty and Outsiders and stuff with pretty hefty staples are definitely, exceeding their MSRP, but usually at release, it's not going to sit. It's not going to sit close to that. So, yeah. Curious if it's production, distribution, right, or just general inflation is causing it to go up. But another thing worth noting, does it say it's here? Yes, so Japanese has Braveforge, Braces, and Valiant Dynamo. Is curious, right? So obviously they're thought as stable legendaries, but also we're just seeing this trend where they're gonna use every set to basically touch on pre-existing legendaries for Japan, which is definitely a great way to do it, right? But then we also have the Archive product, which makes me think that there's not going to be anything featuring or focused on Guardian for a little while, right? So the mid-set of the EA isn't going to lead into the Mastery Pack. The set after the Mastery Pack probably isn't going to be Guardian either, right? Because they're getting a specific set devoted to Guardian, right? If that makes sense. So yeah, interesting thought. And then, of course, we have the normal breakdown. Marvels. We have 17 Marvels in total, and we know the majority of them. So we've already seen the 6 Arachne Weblings, right? We have seen Felty, so that's 7 already, and then the usual 6 heroes, right? So that is 13, so that leaves 4. I think a lot of people are thinking they're gonna, do a chase variant of Dromai, similar to Briar, right? Which kind of makes sense. So maybe chop that up to be another one. And that leaves 3, which I could see them sticking another hero in there, just as a hero to launch, right? A hero that has support. I could see them sticking Dromai in the set as just an extra hero, but not a hero that's draftable or playable with sealed, right? Because then they don't have to worry about printing a whole new set of dragons. They can just use the dragons that currently exist, which I think, again, makes a lot of sense, right? Illusions doesn't really need support. It needs just a new pilot, right? So I could see them sticking Dromai in there, similar for the Blitz decks. I could see the last one being Dromai. It's also, I could see it being Emperor, just for the sake of fun, right? Because obviously, if you're using the young versions, Emperor is also currently still the Emperor, if that makes sense. So, be interesting, because obviously we have a whole bunch of Wizard support with Rosetta. We're going to get a whole bunch of Draconic Warrior support through Fang. So, yeah, the Emperor could make an appearance, right? I don't think anyone would be too peeved if there's a normal version of the Emperor in Blitz, because even the cold foil is trash, right? It's just the Marvel variant that everyone cares about. Anyway, that's a thought. Okay, 6 legendaries. So 6 is looking. No, it's not the norm. 5. We got 5 in Rosetta. God, where's my pen? The breakdown is what? We have Draconic, we have Warrior, we have Ninja, and we have Assassin. And then we have Draconic of each. And I'm kind of feeling Chaos, right? So we'd probably assume at least 1 of each. Or 1 of each Draconic Warrior / Ninja. That's usually the go, right? They like having the crossover, but that's already 4. So then if it's just Draconic, and then if it's just... Well, no, because we'd probably be looking at a generic as well, right? So it'd probably be 1 Assassin, 1 Draconic, 1 Warrior, 1 Ninja, 1 generic, and then something else, maybe. I think that's a decent guess, right? And then the Fable, so... that is heads or tails, right? Because we already have an Assassin Fable, and we already have a Draconic Fable. So, yeah. First pass, first talent to get 2 would be interesting, unless they go with, obviously, Warrior or Ninja specifically. What would a Warrior Fable look like? Pitch it, get +1 to an attack? I mean, if it was something insane like pitch this, you may attack an additional time with target weapon. That, or... No, they'd have to put like a heavy constraint on it, right? It'd have to be something like, if this was pitched to attack with a weapon, you may attack it with it an additional time instead, something like that. And then ninjas pitch this. All I can think is really just damage increase, right? For ninja. Yeah. Purist, right? So, I don't know, I feel like Warrior. Probably more on the table. Ninja, obviously, already got a decent boost. It's been a while since we've done anything crazy with Warrior. Majestics, 42. Anything else stand out? 16 tokens. I always do like trying to guess the tokens. So, we know there's Fealty. I think of any. Or Silver, maybe, because there's Assassin. But I feel like they're moving away from Silver, right? If he's on the run, he's not really taking contracts to assassinate anyone. We can do this a better way. I have Fabry open. Let's see, what tokens currently exist? So, Fealty is 1. 16 seems so high for this set. Phoenix Flame, maybe. But Phoenix Flame seems like the rebel thing, right? Silver. So, yeah, I guess Silver's just the best other guess. Spellbane Aegis would be interesting. I could see it just being... Well, no, because if the expansion slot references a token, they don't actually print the token. Yeah, no, I'm stumped. With what the tokens could be. Unless it is token variants of the 6 people, right, revealed for Arachne. Because you could have something, I don't know, if you can play contracts, you get to spawn a token ally. Now that feels kind of weird. Any other big changes? Oh, right. I don't know if it says it here, but the pre-release has been... No, not the pre-release. The preview has been reverted. So for Rosetta, no, I don't think I have it open. I think I have it here. Calling, Prague. Nope. There's too many versions of the articles to figure out. God. You know what? It should be linked in the Hunted, right? World Premiere. Does it go to the right one? No, this goes to the Calling. Ah, no, it is still here. Okay, so unlike previous Flesh and Blood sets, the majority of low rarity cards in the Hunted won't be revealed during the preview season. This is the third time doing it, right? Fourth time? So Miss Vale was the same. We had the low rarity cards revealed. No, sorry, yeah. We had the low rarity cards held till the preview season, and we had all the high rarity cards, or the majority of the high rarity cards come out on the spoiler season, right? Up until the actual event. For Rosetta, they inverted it, right? We had all the low rarity cards come out, and they wanted all the high rarity cards for the premiere. So the curiosity to me is why? Because I thought Rosetta handled it better. Miss Vale kind of turned into a FOMO because of the previews and everything, where everyone, was just hyping and speculating and ramping cards up, and then things got a bit exuberant for the first 2 weeks or so releases, and then everything came crashing down. Does this state it? Yes, it does, right? So, same tagline, except opposite way, right? Which is, they've got it down packed, right? The template that they use. I don't know if Miss Vale still has theirs up. Yeah, they're just going back and forth, right? I guess not enough hype. Well, hold it right, and then click enter. There just wasn't enough hype. I guess going into Rosetta maybe, but I thought Rosetta was still pretty beloved. World Premiere. World Premiere features blah blah. Here cards. Nope. Say anything about the spoilers? Release, no, playday. But it was. We basically saw the high rarity cards. So yeah, so inverted for whatever reason. We'll see where that leads. I mean, I guess it's also because they want to, show off like the chaos stuff. And we already have a decent chunk of cards that seem like they might be pretty high. Well, not super high rarity, but decent high rarity, right? We have a decent amount of reveals from the Calling ticket, right? From the Prague. Why is it not Calling? World Premiere. Alright. Sorry, I need to reorganize. I don't need the Blitz collection anymore. Spell 2 decks. No price increase on the bundle, which is fine. Stock standard, 40 cards plus hero and weapons. We don't know anything on the heroes yet, right? Other than this is kind of Arachne, right? We're 99% sure that it's Arachne Assassin. We just don't know if he's going to be base Chaos Assassin, right? Now, both of them are also royal, right? So they don't need the crown to satisfy that. Tome works straight away. Tome of Imperial Flame, right? And so does Regicide, which I think has been speculated on. Regicide. Arachne spec that allows him to destroy a royal if it hits. It hasn't really gone up much. The extended art has kind of gone up. Curious to see if it gets sideboarded in. I mean, it's like an all or nothing. If they deny it, you're screwed. I don't think the promos for the pre-release have been showcased or spoiled anywhere, unfortunately. Right? Where's the little market? Here we are. Right. No, so we can see Sindra and Fang as their marvels along with Fealty. Right, so we know that they're still doing the adult young hero marvels. Fine. One rare. Rates haven't changed. Yeah, I think that's everything. Then the collection. Not being spoiled. Although I should read all the context stuff, because I never focus on that. What do we have? We have an Oath of Loyalty that extends beyond the grave, entangled in a web of deceit where chaos breeds. Are you the hunter or the hunted? The hunted calls players to take up the mantle of 2 vengeful Drakai, high-ranking officers in the Loyalist army. With the Emperor slain, they ride out across the fiery plains of Volkor, bring the killers to justice. So yeah, so that's a curious thought, right? So, is Faye going to be part of it? Or is it just Arachne and the assassins being blamed? Every closed door harbors a menacing secret, skittering through the darkness, darting in and out of view, knives glittering in the dead of night. A web of danger lies in wait for the approaching draconic forces. Features ninja, warrior, and assassin classes. Right? Exceptional sealed. Well, actually, how does it specify? No. So it does say features ninja, warrior, and assassin classes. I'm trying to, because I've seen some people like chop this up. This is for this could be just hinting at draft and sealed, and then we get again illusionist as being part of the box. You know what? Something we could actually do. If we compare the card count, right, to other 3-class sets, we can sort of guess if they've snuck a 4th one in there, right? That's something worth doing. Exceptional sealed deck and booster draft, play with lots of stabbing. Collection of breathtaking marvels unlike anything you've seen. I'm kind of getting a bit. It loses its pizzazz when it's hammered home over and over again, right? Every set has the greatest marvels in the world. Every set has the greatest sealed and draft experience. I'd rather them, say what's unique about it, right? I'd rather this blurb be this: the hunted features heroes across ninja, warrior, and assassin classes with a unique sealed and boosted draft experience featuring a new mechanic marked, right? And a new collection of, I guess they can stay with breathtaking marvels. But yeah, because it's kind of hammering home that every set has the greatest marvels, and some are great. Again, I'm not a big fan of the marvels from Rosetta. I think a lot of them fall flat in comparison to their normal sigils. But okay, so 265 in the sets. Let's compare it to a few things, right? So Mistveil was a tri-class set. Rosetta was obviously 4. Partly Mistveil. Vietas was 3. I'll do for now, right? So we had 258 cards. So we actually have more than Rosetta. That's interesting. 255 and 2. Okay, I'm back on the bandwagon, right? I know Draconic Warrior and Draconic Ninja are both new, but 265 is a bit excessive, especially with Assassin. So it's either Chaos is a main theme of the set, right, and we'll actually have its full set of cards, not just be, say, a flavorful thing to do with whatever the, alternate versions of Arachnia. Call it demi-hero, don't call it demi-hero. But at 265, right, Majestics, which are usually the big thing. Alright, so no, this is where it gets less exciting. So a high Majestic count would mean they're introducing new things, right? The fact that it's low sort of makes sense. Again, Draconic already exists, Assassin already exists, Warrior, Ninja already exists, so they don't need a huge amount of support. They need the normal level of support. Rares, there's more rares-ish, which usually lends itself to a new mechanic or a new talent subset of things, right? So the majority of Draconic Warrior, Draconic Ninja stuff will probably go in the rares, and there is slightly more commons. Yeah. But only 15 expansion slot cards, that was the other thing that caught my eye. Wherever it says it. I still think they could probably sneak something new in there, right? Between Majestics and rares. Worth thinking on. Okay. Let's squint a whole bunch, shall we? We have how many cards? 8 -1, since we've already seen the Blood Dragon art. And then 2 sets of 3. Can I not open the image for the first one? I guess not. Alright, so these are kind of legible, which is nice. Alright. Jagged Edge. 1 cost, red, 3 block, warrior attack reaction. Target weapon attack gets +3, and damage this would deal can't be prevented. That's a fairly decent warrior attack reaction, especially because it's on weapon rather than dagger, like a lot of the other ones. so probably a rare. Flurry Stance is bonkers to me, right? This is such a crazy card. You know, you can already combo out with it. The Flurry Stance go again. At the start of your turn, destroy this. Then you may attack with each dagger you control. Additional time this turn, right? So the fact that it is each, and I'm pretty sure that says each, it looks very much like an each, is just nuts to me, right? We don't know what the new daggers are, but there's Fabric, right? Straight away, we have Oath of Steel, right? We have literally this setup. So Oath of Steel is whenever you attack with a weapon, not hits, whenever you attack with a weapon, put a +1 counter on it, and then at the beginning of your end phase, remove all counters. It doesn't seem played mainly because you could never attack enough, and it also disrupt all of your other counter generation. But I think it is pretty decent tempo with Flurry, and it's an interesting finisher, right? Sucks that they're both red to try to cycle them around and stack it. But, you know, 3 Flurry Stances into 3 Oath of Steel. So every time you swing, you get 3 counters, right? And you're able to swing 4 times with each weapon. That's 44 damage in total, if I've done my math correctly, just off of those cards in conjunction. Then you have stuff like Tome of Imperial Flame, with Flameskull Furnace to get enough resources to attack. You have Gallantry Gold, right, which is just your weapons over the whole course of the turn. And then you have Visit the Imperial Forge. Swords and daggers have Piercing 3. So that's a great way to get damage through against equipment, right? 0 cost, +3. And Refraction Bolters. I don't know how this works, right? But the Quicksilver Daggers, if one has Go Again, the other gets Go Again. I don't know if do they trigger off of one another, right? So if you give one Go Again, the other one sees that the first one's got Go Again, gets Go Again. And then it getting Go Again, does that trigger the other one getting Go Again? And also, was that a mouthful, right? And can you use it with Fraction Bolters? Either way, I'm pretty sure satisfying the Go Again so that you can swing with the Flurry Stances isn't going to be that hard of a thing. And it's 0 cost, right? Unless that's a 3, which 3 would make it unplayable, so I'm pretty sure it's a 0 cost. Then we have Agility Stance. Go again, and start your turn, destroy this. Then your dagger attacks get Go Again this turn. So, I mean, them in conjunction already satisfy one another. Aura Disruption is going to continue to be a premium, because you have Guardian coming out, who definitely wants Aura Disruption. And then you also now have Warrior seeking to do the same. It's kind of interesting that these aren't reactions, that they're slowing it down. And then Power Stance. At the start of your turn, destroy this, then your dagger attacks get +1 this turn. That one's a bit less exciting because there's lots of other ways to get the pluses. But yeah, Dagger Warrior is going to be interesting. I find it kind of novel that the art for this, though, isn't daggers. So it looks to be a proper full-size katana rather than what they call the half ones that they always have with them, which these are, right? And then it mentions dagger cards. Little gripe. Okay, and then we have Art of the Dragon, Blood, Claw, Fire, and Scale. We've already seen Blood, but these are all ninja attack actions. When this attacks, if it is Draconic, when this attacks, if this is Draconic, so they all want to be Draconic. So far, we're not seeing that much with Warrior wanting to create Draconic cards, or make Draconic cards. So this gets, when this hits a hero, destroy all cards in their arsenal. So 1 for 5 with Arsenal Disruption. It's alright. Then we have 2 for 5, 2 for... No, what is that? That looks like a 2, but that only looks like a 3. No, that's got to be 5. It has to be 1 for 5. Yeah, looking at the stat line and everything else, it has to be 1 for 5. When it attacks, if it's Draconic, deal 2 damage to any target. It's a decent ping, right? And it's not, if it hits, it is just straight up take you 2 damage and like it, right? So yeah, it's actually a nice finisher, right? Because overall, it threatens kind of a lot, right? 5 damage just off the card, and then 2, which needs a prevention effect. And then Scale, which is difficult because of the background. When this stacks, if it's Draconic, right? When this hits a hero, put a -1 counter on equipment they control. Then, if it has 0 armor, destroy it. Okay, so it's similar to Liquefy, right? So, Pressure, Arsenal Disruption, and Equipment Disruption. When this attacks, it was hit a hero? Yeah, it is hit a hero. Interesting. If they go around the bend and they give everyone armor disruption, it means that they can effectively increase the threshold for armor, right? The stat line for armor, which would be a very interesting thought, because you could go with very low power effects, just having slightly more armor, and it would really shake up design and meta. But you know, we don't want Flesh and Blood to end up in that power creep cycle. But I'm curious to see if they end up giving everyone this type of support, because it seems like we are getting to the point where everyone is sort of digging into the toolkits of everyone, right? So Warrior with these types of aura mechanics is very Guardian-esque, and then Ninja things and everything. Well, I mean, it was kind of already for Draconic. But yeah, there's getting to be more and more class design overlap, right? Alright. These ones are going to be fun. Pretty zoomed in a lot too. Weirdly, I think the version I made is actually higher resolution. I know this is Tarantula Toxin, right? Even though that's crazy. Choose one or both. Target dagger attack gets plus, I think it was 3, plus 3, and then target card defending attack with stealth gets minus 3 armor this turn, right? So shred along with a dagger buff, but the important takeaway for me from this card is the fact that it's choose one or both. In order for it to be choose both, means you have to have a dagger with stealth, which is going to be pretty insane for triggering things with Uzari, for starters, right? You swing with your dagger and then you swap it to an attack. You could take a whole different curve with Uzari, right? Because then you don't... If you have all your stealth triggers on the board, that's absolute insanity to me. Then be able to swap out to a better attack, right? Or have I reverted that in my mind? It's attack with stealth, swap to a better card, right? Where is he? Yeah, you, so last. Yeah. Although I don't know how that would trigger, right? Well, no, because it's put target attacking card, not... Is it the fact that it's card that disqualifies it from being usable with the daggers? Because wouldn't it normally read put target attack action with stealth from the active chain link to the bottom of its owner's deck? I mean, if you lose the weapon, that'd be kind of interesting too. I guess we'll see some sort of ruling for that, right? When a dagger actually has stealth. But either way, it still triggers with a, just a nick. Although this is target attack action card, though. It'll be very interesting, though, right? To have a dagger with stealth. Then we have Blood Runs Deep. This costs 1 less to play for each Draconic chain link you control. When this attacks a hero... I'm sorry, I need to... This is illegible. I have... For a video, I made better versions. Question is, where are they? And is it actually more legible? Kind of not. Oh. A little bit. No, it's definitely much better. Okay. Well, screw it. I'll start at the top. So for the Jukai, when this attacks a marked hero, create a Filthy token, right? So 0 for 4 with 3 block on a red, Draconic attack action, and this is basically a whole... Oops. Don't click too far, I guess. It's a whole chain of Draconic attack actions. So 0 to 1 to 2, right? With the attack line increasing by 1 point as well. And all of them are, when this attacks a marked hero, create a Filthy token. So everyone will want to mark everyone. Although we're not seeing any assassin play with mark just yet. But I assume there will be. So they're nice and simple. I like their designs too, as the EAs. Sort of detailing the joining of Syndra, I would assume, right? So here she is as what appears to be like a dancer, right? And then working, and then serving the Emperor. These ones are a bit more exciting. So again, Tarantula Toxin, choose one or both. Target dagger attack gets +3. Target card defending attack with stealth gets -3. And then Blood Runs Deep. This costs 1 less to play for each Draconic Chainlink you control. When this stacks a hero, each dagger you control deals 1 damage to them. If damage is dealt this way, the dagger has hit Destroy the Dagger. So, again, the implications of this card is pretty crazy to me. So, it is each dagger you control deals 1 damage to them. This pops both your daggers on board. And also destroys both your daggers on board. Which makes me think that, Ninja will have some sort of way to re-equip a bunch of daggers. And it kind of seems like that's Syndra's design. Again, we don't have the full image of her yet. But there she is, right? And she has 6 floating daggers already. So yeah, I'd be curious to see how she goes about just re-equipping daggers, and also what effects the daggers will have. Because we're getting more similar to, Assassin's use of them, where the dagger has hit. But still, something like this into Bleed Out, or the other dagger card that costs less per dagger hit, is also really nice. Then we have Long Whisker Loyalty. For each Draconic Chainlink you control, choose one. So Warrior does care about Draconic Chainlinks. Good to know. Target dagger gets +2. You may attack with target dagger an additional time this turn, and then the next time target dagger hits a hero this turn, mark them. Overall, I'm not too excited about this card, right? So both of these just seem like good finishes. I mean, this is kind of comparable to like Just a Nick to me, right? Is Just a Nick? Yeah, news card that was the +5 and then an also strong effect. But then this seems like a starting ability, which is also kind of weird, because I guess you want to attack with a bunch of Draconic cards, then you play this, then you swing with your daggers. Then you have target dagger attack gets +2. So I guess it's normal cards, dagger, this, +2, attack an additional time, mark, but then mark feeds into some of your other cards, so I guess mark is set up for later. There's just a lot going on, and a lot we haven't seen with this card yet, to think whether or not it's great, right? The +2 is kind of meh, right? Oh no, it feels like I'm missing something with this. The fact that you can play this for free, just an extra attack, you get the 2 extra ping, you get the dagger effects, you get to then feed into other dagger synergy, and again this with just stealth and dagger being a huge stat line, 6 switch, right? -3 to one of their cards, and then a +3 to your card. Yeah, I like these two a lot more than Long Whisker Loyalty. So I'm curious, I guess previous Emperor, maybe? I think that is all the cards, right? Yeah. So, yeah, this is actually something else I want to look at. So, could be, obviously, Fang and Syndra, but I don't know why, they look like Yoji and Aria to me. Do they not? And obviously Arachne. All these different masks. I think that is everything, right? That we can check out, more or less. In case I've missed anything. No, nothing so far. Alright, well, Mark is the other token that we know. Placeholders doesn't really do us any good. But we know card numbers, right? Trying to take a gander at how many rares and majestics. Nah, it's not worth it. We'll wait till there's more cards. Why don't we'll take a look at a few different things. So, dagger synergy so far. So, Knives Out works with Assassin and Ninja. So, might be a nice card. Seems like Syndra's thing will be a lot of dagger attacks. We are probably looking at, potentially, right, a ninja version of Graven Skull. Something that you can recycle. A recyclable dagger will just be crazy to me. Yeah, as long as it doesn't have a hefty cost. Because there's a lot of fun to be had with just throwing a whole bunch of knives, right? You can take 9 hurls and then a flick knife, so you can technically throw your daggers 10 times over the course of a game. So as long as there's something recyclable. It would have to have a very minor effect though, right? Other than that, comparable. We obviously don't have any other warrior daggers other than the Quicksilver, so I would assume we get a Draconic dagger. And then we get unique daggers for everyone. Curious if they go with a warrior dagger, right? Because I feel like that will open a lot for a lot of different heroes. I really want it to be normal ninja daggers, because just having the Kodachi and the needle is not fantastic. Like to see something thrown out there. I've felt like ninja always gets like the stock standard weapons, nothing too crazy, nothing too exciting, just good. And I'd like to see something with a crazy effect similar to news. We'll have to see. And then obviously assassin with more disruption, something completely new. And what do we have? We have defend, reaction, non-attack, equipment, and attack. So you have the trifecta. The only thing would be like a, I don't know, a -2 to defense reaction, or -2 to block in defense reaction, right? Something a bit more hefty. Other than that, dagger support for warrior is lackluster at current, right? Piercing effects, which is kind of interesting because it also feels like daggers will probably innately kind of have piercing going forward, or more so. Plunge is Assassin Ninja. When this hits, next dagger attack gets +1. Average. Precision Press is more piercing. Blade Cuff is just a damage increase for daggers. It's kind of unfortunate, right, that Assassin Ninja is 2 cost, and then Warriors is 1 cost through Gallantry Gold. Concealed Blade, right, so this is more what we want to see. So target Assassin or Ninja attack action card gets +1, and then allow you to re-equip a dagger. So, yeah, depending on how much they incorporate, right? Again, into Syndra, utilizing multiple daggers, Steel Blade is definitely going to be a card to keep an eye on, right? And it's Spider Operative, which is also interesting. Short and Sharp, another dagger buff, although this only choose 1. Stab Wound, there we go. So when this hits hero, they lose X life, where X is the number of times a dagger has hit this combat chain. So again, if Syndra is, you know, swinging a bunch of daggers, this could be a very decent card to push through at the end, and then just the life effect KOs your opponent. Bleed Out is also costs X less, so as long as you swing twice. The fact that these are free with Go Again is also really nice. Razor Reflex always hits daggers. Slice and Dice, so whenever you attack with a sword or dagger's turn, it's first +1, and second +3. So just decent. Right, and then Hurls and Flick Knives to toss your daggers. I do also like Shifting Perspective, and you know, that's actually kind of worth looking at, right? Well, you can only see 2 extra masks. But do they resemble any of the spiderlings? Nope. I always go to the Hunted, but it's the blog. Not really, no. At least I can't see it, right? Only with a horn and just a mouth. It could be any. Mask of Perdition, was it? Is that what Arachne's mask is sticking out to me? They're all masked, right? Yeah, Perdition. How many do we have so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Obviously the target stuff doesn't really matter. Or new stuff. Curious. Okay, what other synergy are we looking at? I do want to look at just the Draconic cards that currently feature. Subtype. No, talent. There we go. More in particular, I am only really interested in the Majestics and probably the rares. We'll stick with the Majestics first. So, what is just Draconic? Is any just Draconic? So you have Thor. Yeah. So Ninja already has some, right? Because of Fae. Although, I doubt Syndra wants all the Phoenix Flame stuff, right? It's going to be interesting because I feel like Uprising will still be useful because it seems like both of them are going long with Draconic Chain Links. Rupture is also really nice. No, sorry, Liquefy with Rupture. But not too many Draconic cards. So the set will probably be a decent chunk of new Draconic cards. I'm actually surprised that there's only a handful. And they're pretty broad of effects, right? What about in the rare slots? Even less? Really? Ninja, Illusionist, Anti-Anger. No. So it feels like they'll probably go with more just generic. As in, no Warrior, no Ninja subtype. Because that's how you keep it relevant to Dromai and... Well, Faye will have the Ninja stuff anyway. And also then open-ended for future. Similar to how they stripped back Lightning and Earth, right? I think there's anything else to look at. I think that's everything that piques my interest. Right? No other spoilers. Nope. Gone through all the cards. Paired it to Rosetta, Miss Fatal. Yeah, I think that's about as much speculating as we can do. For now, at least. Right? Yeah, probably. 17th of December. When Chaos gets revealed. So stay tuned, because that will definitely be pretty exciting, right? I'm hoping it has a decent chunk of the set, right? It's not just like the additive thing. Anyway, we will crack another box of Rosetta, I think. End off. See if we can pull anything else crazy. The legendary. Alright, what exactly are we looking for? I guess just Plow Under, and what's the other really good one? Felling the Crown is also decent. I like an EA. Feels like EAs have gotten rarer, right? Another Marvel would be nice to, an adult. But we'll have to wait and see. Okay. Hold focus. Nada, 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 nada. Glyph overlay, tongue-tied. Well, that's another thing to consider, right? So the removal of names, types. Although Ninja doesn't seem that dependent on names anymore, right? Well, not when it comes to decoding. So removing typing and everything will be interesting. Runaways. Oh, actually, that's another thought, right? The generic set, what would it be? What are we due for? Kind of just more armor effects? We got back-to-back Auroras, we did. Nada. Into no M just yet. Killing. Gorn is also pretty happy, right? But you wanna get rid of Gorn because Aurora's going pretty fast. So I feel like it's because everyone's not trying to build a aggro Oscillo. While he does have a bit more of a challenging time getting the go-agains, right? So attack, attack, attack into an arcane damage attack. Seems kind of decent to me. And I'm splicing, nada. This pile is getting a bit too large. Especially when it blocks the lighting. Alright, come on. Something decent. First M, at least. Earthform, pop the bubble. Snuff out foil. That's actually fairly decent, right? That's seeing a fair amount of play. This hits hero may destroy an aura you control. If you do, they discard a card. So it's just... Well, no, because your enchant would have popped, right? I'm sure there's easy ways to trigger that. Off season, I also skipped in case. Cold War now. Packs have not been the easiest to open. Thoughts. And nada. Should be about what, every 4th pack is a M? Every 6th? 6th or 4th? 4th, right? Because it's usually 6 a box and 24. Alright. I wish Glyph didn't have the shuffle effect. I like it a lot more. Earthform. And now pray that Dromai does get a variant. Either the bundle or snuck into the hunted. I could really see them just printing a new version of Dromai. Again, because she doesn't really need any support. So many dust cards. I think everyone has to unload. A new version of Dromai that focuses more on dust effects. As in the special dust effects, I should say. Come to Temptation. We're getting Runeblade. If you've dealt arcane damage this turn, you may play this as though it's instant. The next Runeblade attack card control hits a hero. With a hand choose card, they discard it. Wow, that also seems like a really disgusting effect. Nada into Arcane Seeds, which I still really like, and nada. Earthform, more count your blessings. Overflow the Aetherwell. That's another thing to consider, right, as Oslo. The resource generation and your curve. Your cards like Overflow the Aetherwell. I don't know. He seems like he has a fair amount of aggro potential. Everyone's still just building him as a wizard. Some fall, some salts. Nada, nada, nada. Although legendary would be nice. Nada, nada, nada. Unsheath. Now this does not have potential anymore, right? I think everyone was hoping for a warrior set, and then the whole dagger reveal. Although, I'd try and get rid of them quickly, right? Because I don't think it's not, 100% transparent, right? That Fang is using daggers just yet. But, yeah, next attack, this turn gets +3, and when this attacks, if it's greater than twice its base, it gets go again. Which would be, insanely easy to trigger with daggers. Alright, and our cold foil is an inked Mind Cloaked. Yeah. Not a bad one. I like the design. Both mechanically and the look. Sigil, Rebound, Vantage. Still Joe at least, what, like 2 more Majestics? Sigil. I also really like Temporal Manipulation. The whole thing is this is just a non-attack action card, right? It's not Wizard non-attack action card. So it's a lot easier to land. Although it does then sort of go against Oslo's desire to have more instant. But in any other Wizard, kind of really nice. Channel the Millennial Tree. Don't think it's that fantastic. But the AMP3 every turn is kind of cool. You get it when this enters the arena, and then at the beginning. I also do like arcane casting, right? You pop it to get the rune chance with an attack. That goes well into Succumb to Temptation. What is Succumb to Temptation? Just destroy an aura. But then also, like, as Florian, you have embodiments of Earth and everything. Nada. That leaves 2. Alright. One more M. Any blessings, condemn, Briar, and an Aura. Well, lucky last. Forcing Aether, Summer's Fall, Save the Thought, and no expansion slot. So not the greatest. I mean, a Marvel's a Marvel, though, you know, you get one Marvel a case, roughly. Still think the sigils and everything should have been, I don't know, a bit more creative, right? I think it's just because the backgrounds to me kind of generic. Let's see, Deadwood, right? Plus, in the fact that, you know, they're not the greatest cards. I mean, here's the thing, to me at least. That blown up is kind of a bit more interesting than the Marvel. Because the Marvel's, like, this symbol is, you know, grown into the woods. To me, it's just a more complete piece of art. Whereas all the Marvels look like they just have a background that the Marvel sigil has been stuck onto. Yeah. Anyway, that's my tidbit. We're getting great Marvels so far. At least the majority of the Marvels in the set so far. Right? Even a Filthy Marvel looks kind of sick. And it seems to be a main crux mechanic of both Syndra and Fang, so it'll also be a decent Marvel. Half-decent Marvel we'll go with, right? It'll probably be above the young heroes. Able to bling out their deck. But I think I'll do it, right? We went over the Hunted, saw everything we could see. Speculate everything we could speculate, unless there's something I've missed, right? In terms of reading. They just say promo packs and everything in the marketing assets as well. Yeah. Alright, well, that'll do it for today. Anyone hanging around or watching a post, thanks as always. And that's, we are out of here.